Hi Aries, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your January 2022 love reading. I hope you guys are having a good holiday season and you have a happy new year. And for those of you who are new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge and the gap spread. And the way it works is to look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where the bridge and the gap dynamic comes into play. As far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. And also keep in mind it's a general reading. So I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the other way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so as I was laying these cards out, this felt a little bit different to me, and not to mention that there's an Aries card on the right side here. So I have a feeling that for a decent amount of you, you might actually resonate with this side more than that, but just wanted to mention that. Alright, so starting with the past energy on your side, we have oppression, which is the equivalent of the tower, and balance, which is the major arcana card for Sagittarius. So seeing these two cards come out, what's interesting is the tower card comes after this card in traditional tarot. But at the same time, I feel like this is saying that you guys might have gone through a tower moment in the past, and for a lot of you, I feel like this wasn't directly related to this connection, but at the same time, it did seem to have an impact on it. And with the balance energy, I feel like it's saying that once the dust settled from that tower moment, you were feeling back in balance, and you might have actually realized the value within this connection with this person. All right. Past energy on their side, we have the Queen of Wands, which is the core card for Aries, as I mentioned. We have the Moon, and we have the World. So yeah, seeing these cards here, what I'm getting from this is that I feel like they actually came toward you and expressed themselves, right? I feel like they were pretty open and honest about their feelings toward you and their passion toward you. I feel like they got a confusing response from you, or possibly none at all, and I feel like that's clearly related to the tower or oppression energy that we see there, which, like I said, for the majority of you, I feel like was completely unrelated to this connection. But at the same time, I feel like they didn't know how to feel from your response, and then from there, in their eyes, they thought that it was pretty much over at that point, you know. Now I do have to say that might have been a bit reactive on their part, and I'm saying that impartially because, like I said, for some of you this could be your energy on the right, but I have the feeling like it was one of those things where they came forward, they're like, I'm going to tell Aries how I feel, right? They came forward, expressed themselves, felt like they weren't really getting a response from you, or wasn't the response that they expected, and then they kind of just, took that as a blow to the ego and were like, okay, well, that's it. That's all about how I felt. That's as far as it's going to go. You know what I mean? That's kind of the energy I'm getting there. All right. Present energy on your side, we have the Three of Arrows. So this is actually Libra energy here, and to me, I view this as you guys looking back on that missed opportunity, right? Or actually, if we just take the artwork at face value, if it'll focus, there we go. It's almost like she's trying not to look back at that heart, right? So for some of you, you could be reluctant to look back on the missed opportunity because you might realize, wow, I really had an opportunity and it might have missed out on it. Now, like I said, I really feel like for the majority of you, it really was just something completely unrelated to the connection that led to you missing the opportunity, but that's really what I'm picking up on there. And now you're looking back on it like, wow, this was a great opportunity, right? Because like we said, with that balanced energy, you might have saw a lot of potential within the connection, but just the timing seemed to be really off for you. And this reflection energy could definitely be pointing to the fact that we are in the Venus retrograde right now. So you could just be looking back on those missed opportunities now. All right, present energy on their side, we have the King of Swords, which is Aquarius energy, and the Seven of Chalices, which is Scorpio energy. So two fixed energies here for one. So I feel like this is saying that they're really digging in on their perspective. But what I'm getting with this, I feel like this is saying that they really could be detaching. Maybe at best they're trying to keep it at strictly a friendship level with you. That could have been where you guys were in the past too. Maybe it's one of those things, classic friendship. They express their feelings, get shot down, and then okay, now they completely detach and try to stuff those feelings down. And with the Seven of Cups energy there, I feel like this is saying that the passion is still there, right? But in a way, they almost probably wish that they didn't still have those feelings, so they could just really be keeping them under wraps. And obviously you could be seeing that, right, and realizing, man, I really missed this opportunity. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with those two cards. All right. Future energy on your side, we have the Princess of Staves. So this is the equivalent of the Page of Wands. So I do see this as you guys dusting yourselves off, right? And I was going to say mostly putting the past behind you, but at the same time, what stands out is if we look at the artwork, she is moving away from the cards on the side, but at the same time, she's kind of looking over her shoulder a bit, you know? So I feel like this is you guys dusting yourselves off, feeling better around whatever the situation was that you guys went through, right? And possibly moving on, but at the same time, in your mind, at least thinking about the possibilities that there would still be the potential for the two of you in the future. All right. And future energy on their side, we have the Queen of Chalices. So this could just be saying that they might actually come back around and express feelings for you. If that's the case, it could definitely be around the time of the Cancer full moon, because this is the Cancer energy here. So that would be around the middle of January. But yeah, that's why I see with that. And I do have to say, for some of you, though, this could still point to, at least, even if they do come forward in some way, they might still be holding back the feelings a little bit. Because if we think about the Queen of Cups energy in traditional tarot, it's the one cup that's actually covered. So could be some reluctance on their part to put themselves out there. So yeah, I mean, like I said, it's one of those things where I truly feel for the majority of you. I'm sure some of you this could have been directly related to this person, but I feel like for the majority of you it was unrelated. But at the same time, they still kind of felt the effect of it because they came forward, didn't get the response that they were expecting, right? Especially if they didn't know you were going through the tower moment. So in their mind, they might have taken the rejection as directly related to them. And now they're still kind of carrying that, you know? So that's kind of what I'm seeing with that. All right. Bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Five of Coins. So yeah, this could be pointing to, again, what the issue was. For a lot of you, it could have been financial issues that you guys were going through in the past, and that could have just been taking a lot of your time and energy to where you weren't really able to pay any attention to what was going on with this person, right? We even see her back is turned. So yeah, this to me kind of solidifies that for the majority of you, this was unrelated. The tarot moment was unrelated to them, but it still had an impact on the connection. And beneath that, we do see Innocence, which is actually the equivalent of the Fool card. So yeah, it does look like you will be able to get that fresh energy. For some of you, this person might actually want to try again as well, but that seems a bit more 50-50. All right, bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Seven of Swords. So in this deck in particular, it doesn't necessarily point to deception like we do see with most energies. If we look here at their body language, right, it just looks like there's a disconnect, and they're still in the same space together, right? But it looks like there's a disconnect, and that could be, again, what we're feeling there, right? Where the timing seemed to be off between the two of you, and there could be a lack of communication between the two of you to set things right. So, especially given the fact that beneath that we actually have the Six of Cups too. So I feel like this is saying they still are reminiscing on the situation, but like I said, for a lot of you, I feel like they, however weird it is to say, I feel like for a lot of them, they actually wish they didn't still have the feelings because, again, I feel like that wound is still pretty raw for them as far as the rejection situation that seemed to take place, but the feelings still seem to be there. So in that regard, maybe this Venus retrograde can be helpful for the connection as far as maybe the two of you, work through that stuff, but that's what I'm seeing with that. All right, moving on to your oracle cards. First of all, we'll see what we get from our Moonlight deck here. I pre-shuffled this deck before we started recording, and I'm actually going to be looking for unspoken messages from you to them and from them to you. And initially, I'm going to be looking for jumpers, but if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll just put the deck down and pull a card. So we'll see what we get. Oop, that one doesn't want to go back in the deck. And next, we'll see if we get one from them to you. All right, got one there. So on your side, we have jealousy. I feel like you've moved on without me, and that's difficult for me to see. So yeah, interestingly enough, I don't necessarily have the energy of them being in another connection, But I definitely did say that it seemed like there was a missed opportunity energy there, right? Especially the three of arrows that we talked about, where it looks like you're looking back and realizing, wow, I really missed the opportunity with this person. So for some of you, it is possible that maybe they are with someone else. But primarily, I feel like that's more of your feeling that way, like, oh man, I really screwed up this opportunity. So could have been something where a lot of time has passed too, and maybe with the Venus retrograde, it's kicking back those feelings. So you might not even have been in contact with this person the whole time, and that's what I'm seeing there. And on their side, we have fantasy. It says, I wish I could. So yeah, I do have to say, honestly, seeing this card in addition to that one, that is a possibility that for some of you, they might actually be in another connection. And that could be the difficulty, right? Where that could also be why they're trying to fight back their feelings. Like, okay, especially given that we saw the world in the past, which to me, like I said, that could have meant that in their eyes, they made the effort, they let you know how they felt. They didn't feel it was reciprocated, so they might have moved on. And interestingly enough, if that's the case, that could even point to the current connection you're in where you're feeling that disconnect because those feelings for you are still lingering. So kind of a complex one, but we'll see what the Wisdom of the Oracle adds to the mix. And same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well, but here I'm just looking for one card with general advice for us to wrap up with. All right, got one already. So there you go. You have Truth to Be Told. There's the artwork, and the number is 14. Someone else had this month as well, but unfortunately I can't remember for the life of me who it was. But whomever you're dealing with, maybe you could check out their reading, see if they had that card as well. Or check your other placements for that matter. All right. Essential meanings, it says honesty, accepting things at face value, coming out of denial, the willingness to be transparent, clarity of communication. The oracle's message, there is the truth, which is the essence of a thing, and then there is a truth, subjective according to the philosophy of the adherent or believer. This is not a time for debate about which truth is truer. This is a time when you are called to proclaim your truth out loud and be willing to be transparent, honest, and open in your communication with others and with yourself. Nothing less than surrender to what is, peeling off the layers of denial that kept you tied to an illusion will set you free. Be authentic and gloriously flawed, and spirit will answer with miracles. So, pretty positive message there. I mean, I did say at one point that it seemed like obviously you guys could benefit from some communication to try to clear the air, but hopefully that resonated. And then the relationship message says people tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. This card calls you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based on your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth to be found after you communicate honestly and see how doing so has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. So, yeah, pretty positive message there. Like I said, for some of you, it definitely seemed like there was bad timing in the past for sure. Like I said, another layer to that could be that this person might be in another connection at this time, and those feelings might still be there for you for a certain extent, but they might just be fighting them back for the reason that they are in another connection. So, pretty complex one. But if that resonated with you guys, hopefully it did give you some additional helpful insight around the situation. Once again, hope you guys are having a good holiday season and a happy new year, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.